you so much, everybody. And this is the fourth episode of Polybius, this project that we're running with Hospitality Net, where we try to uncover the secrets of the metaverse and divide the hype from the real business application in our industry. So thank you so much, everyone. I see a lot of people as an avatar, and I hope we have as many people watching this in 2D. As you can see today, we got a slight different environment. So first of all, I have a new haircut, but most important, we are not running the show from the Polybius room, but we're running the show from the first Italian hotel collection that entered the metaverse. So first of all, I want to thank all the people that made this possible. So not only Hospitality Net, of course, but next to me in this all black outfit, I do have Ilaria, that is a
Yeah.
researcher at Olimant and the Olitech, and that can tell us a little more about the space and what you guys did with that. And I think it's very fitting that you're here today because, as you may know, with Polybius, every time we get a different topic, and the topic of today is what are the real possible business application of the metaverse. Okay, so and this is a great example of that because we're actually I don't know if this is the first, probably this is the first event you guys run in this space, right? Ilaria, do you know that?
Yeah,
Okay,
the first
so tell
one.
me tell me a little more about the space, how this uh, became what it is now, what was the initial conversation, and overall just try to explain to our viewers that like 90% of them they're people from the hospitality space, so just they're not devs. How you can actually create something like that?
Okay, so first of all, I want to thank you, all of you, and we are very honored to participate in this event. And okay, so it is a functional environment that allows a unique experience in the hotel world. You can visit the hotel freely. You can have a pre-experience, get to know the services, the dishes, the people who work in this structure, book your holiday, and it's digital reality. Our laboratory is the oldest in Europe in the study of this immersive technology. And some of the founding fathers of the technology that today takes the name of the metaverse have passed through this environment. Precisely on the February 7th, the anniversary of the foundation occurs. So yeah.
For like if the name doesn't ring a bell, what you may want to know is that most of the people working in Olitech, and that is why the name is coming from probably the most important company ever existed in the computing space in Italy, and that's Olivetti. And
Yes.
I'm pretty sure even like viewers that are not connecting from Italy, they're probably familiar with the name. So, Ilaria, first of all, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to come here and introduce the event. It's an honor to have like a piece of history uh,
Thank you.
taking part in building something that cool. Just if you want, just stay around, and if you got a few extra minutes at the end, I will ask you a few extra questions. Okay? So thank you so much.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course. Thank you.
Okay, and I want to thank the Italian hotel group. Again, that's the first Italian hotel collection happening to the members. So thank you so much for giving us the space. And as you can see, I put a very just some personal touches here and there. So you can see like you can actually understand that I'm a music freak. And they already told me that to put everything down as soon as we finish. So if you come back to the space later, you will not find all these posters. But anyway, I think it's pretty cool. Okay, so let's jump right into it. We got two panelists today that already joined me in one of the session. So the first one is Lior Nitzan, and Lior is a personal favorite of mine. But again, Lior, this is it's not because you're here, but it's just because I'm in love with music, as you can say.
Yeah.
Failed musician. So this is like this is the hospitality and the metaverse is like a second career option for me. And he's the co-founder and CTO of GetSound.ai. That's an amazing project. Check it out. We'll ask you a few things later. And Soundscape City. So thank you so much, Lior, for being with us today.
Thank you. Always a great pleasure. Thank you.
And then we got Salman Alawi, founder of Meta Designers. You had some amazing views on the metaverse last time. I think I quoted you like for a couple of weeks after we did this. So thank you so much for being with us again.
Thanks for having me, Simone. Thank you, Hospitality Net.
Very good. And then we got Brian Vertone, business developer at the Metaverse project manager at Welcome Virtual. Thank you so much, Brian. Is it Italian name?
Hi, Simone. Brian? No, it's my last name. Yes, it is Italian, but I am not from Italy. My parents are.
But from where?
Thank you anyway for. Oh, my parents are from Basilicata, which is in the south of Italy. But I am actually American. I was born in the United States, but now I live in Spain.
Okay, that's a lot of
quite a mix.
Very good.
quite a mix. Yes.
Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you.
And finally, we got Claudia Ferrero, tech evangelist and also a close friend of mine, actually. So Claudia, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for your invitation, Simone. So glad to be here with you guys.
Very good. Okay, guys, let's jump into it. The topic of today is what are the real applications of the metaverse in the hospitality space. And this is the fourth episode. So the first three we covered some topics revolving around the terminology. We explain a little better the main concept of what extended reality is. We talk a little about decentralization. What I would like to do with you today is trying to understand, okay, now that we got some theory, what do we do if we want to create a metaverse project, okay? As usual, feel free to interrupt or jump in or comment whenever somebody else is talking. Just make sure that this is completely open for you, okay? So let's start with question number one. So what we saw over the last episode is that the metaverse is not only VR, okay? And this is a narrative that we're seeing mainly from companies such as Meta. And but if the metaverse is not only VR, what do you think it will be the first component of the metaverse to be adopted by the travel and hospitality industry? And again, I have a very like a serious opinion on that. So my question will be, do you think this will be VR, AR, decentralization? So I would like to understand what is to you the main entry point for travel and hospitality industries into the metaverse. And look, let's start with the new one. Brian, let's start with you.
All right, thank you, Simone, for giving me the word. I do agree, and this is a clear misconception that we have of the metaverse. VR is not equal to metaverse. There are different ways to navigate through these virtual worlds. At this point, there are many companies racing for the title of first something quote unquote. I mean, first to have a metaverse, the first to explore an environment in VR or in AR, or the first Italian hotel to have a digital twin in the metaverse. So we are experiencing that race, and the travel industry in general is likely to adopt a combination of virtual reality and augmented reality, maybe in the short term, for creative, immersive travel experiences. There are a few companies that are experiencing the first steps of this. We will be settling some examples, but it is true that today we. I would like to share one of the early adopters that I work close with. They are building a digital twin of Benidorm, which is a city in the south of Spain. This is, let's say, like a local area from where I live, and they are creating this amazing, detailed graphic, very realistic, greatly interactive, amongst other avatars, a sort of virtual space in which you can navigate and enter different stores or click on certain elements that will create interaction. Also, with the possibility of being able to be accessed by 200 simultaneous users. So it is a very interesting concept. You can search it on the internet if you want. It's called Benidorm Land. It doesn't have to do with our company, but it is a very interesting example to look up close and see what are the adoptions that we're having currently today in the travel industry. Of course, there are many other companies. You can see Marriott kind of like playing around with the concept of the teleporter, in which you can use VR and you can have like this virtual tour around their hotels, and that is also very interesting. I would love to hear what Leo or Salman have to say about this as well, Claudia. Thank you.
Okay, Brian. So for you, it's basically VR and like immersive virtual tours. Lior, do you agree with that? Do you think VR will be the entry point to the metaverse adoption in our industry?
Yes, I think that initially companies will look for the best way to test, first of all, how many consumers even have the access to this technology. The easiest and the first thing I would do is create a digital twin, the same as we are in right now, and see what happens. How many visitors do I have? I think VR is the perfect approach for that. I do believe that they will combine some sort of experience inside the hotels. You can see now in many spas they have virtual realities treatments in the health section, but you will see more and more those experience, the user experience inside the hotels themselves, I think.
And that is something I love. I don't remember where it was. It was pre-COVID anyway, so this was even before like all this new metaverse interest. And they used to have this. They used to call it, I think, yoga mirror, something like that. So there was this. It was very cool. It was actually a layer of like second level of reality on the mirror, and you could basically join a meditation session directly from your room. And I thought that was very cool. We were not really calling it the metaverse yet at the time, but I totally agree with you. Thank you, Leon. Salman, what about you? VR? Do you think VR will be the entry point?
Yes, I do agree, but way before that, and overall, I feel like the first stepping stone towards adoption is in ease of use. The easier our metaverses become for the people to use, the more industries are going to be enabled to adopt. And I believe that digital twins are extremely important for the future of the metaverse, and that VR is the best way forward because it gives them the most realistic sense of what they're experiencing. by going to this venue or this hotel or any other space that they're in.
And again, I always say, because I think there's a misconception, especially in our industry. And I don't know if you agree, Sam, but when you talk about the metaverse and the retail space, or when you talk about the metaverse and the healthcare space, for example, you don't have that kind of strong reaction that you do have when you start talking about the metaverse in the hospitality space. And I think that the big misconception is that most people think that we are actually building hotels like the one we are right now in the metaverse, so that avatars can sleep in the digital twin. That is actually not the goal. The goal is just to create something to pre-experience what you're going to eventually experience in real life. And it always makes this example. I don't know. Do you agree, Salman?
I couldn't agree more with you. To be very clear, what a digital twin or a virtual space for a hotel or a retail company or whatever is created for is just to give the user a taste of what they're going to feel when they go to the facility or to the hotel or to whatever other space in real life.
On top of that,
So,
look,
yeah.
how old are you, if I can ask? Like,
I'm
I don't
23.
I'm okay. You're too young, but okay, I got. I'm 20. I'm 20 years older than you are. Okay, and I remember like the first job I had, and I was still in school. It was on a travel agency, and back in the days, people were coming to the physical travel agency. So people were coming for anything, like even booking a train ticket. This was probably 96 or 97. And back in the days, we used to book hotels based on a stretch photo on a catalog. And then we started booking based on websites. Then we started booking based on virtual tours. And now we will book based on what we actually see in the metaverse. So to me, and that is why I don't understand why people are so freaked out, because it's only the tool that's changing.
Correct.
It's more immersive than a stretch photo, of course. It's more immersive than just a static website, but it's not really changing the essence of travel. And Claudia, you're in the hospitality space as well, so probably you can answer that. Do you think that well, first of all, what is the entry point in the metaverse for you? And do you think that, especially when it comes to VR, some entrepreneurs still have this cognitive bias when it comes to what the metaverse is all about when it comes to our industry?
Yeah, first of all, let me agree with what our colleagues already mentioned about VR, which is, I think, the most popular technology and the easiest one, especially because it's already being used by all the kids that are now playing with all these meta games. So for them, it will be a normal, a regular way to interact with someone, with other organizations, other companies. So I think that it will be the entry, indeed, the entry point for the new generation, at least. And to answer to your second question, I believe that entrepreneurs right now freak out because they don't understand this technology. They don't understand the evolution of these tools, and because they are boomers like I am. And because normally when you are a manager, no, I'm not joking. When you are a manager, you are an entrepreneur. Normally, you are about between 40s and 60s years old, right? So this is not something that you are used to. you don't at least you don't use every day. You just maybe read some articles here and there, and so you don't really understand what they are talking about. And we know that every time people don't understand something, they avoid that. They avoid this thing.
I look, I disagree with you here, and because to me, boomer boomer is a state of mind. It has nothing to do with age. I've talked to 20 years something that are completely boomers, and
Mhm.
but I understand what you mean. You know, I always quote this amazing quote from one of my favorite writers, and that's Douglas Adams. You know, the guy that wrote the Ichigo Guides to the Galaxy. You know, masterpiece in science fiction. And he said that all the technology that has been created between the day you're born when you're 15 is normal. All the technology that is being created between the time you're 15 and 35 is an innovation, is exciting, it's something you can make a career out of that. But all the technology that is created after you are 35 is basically against nature. And I think that is the mindset that a lot of have when it comes to
Sure.
technology. But again, I would disagree only to the extent that I don't think it's a question of generation. I think it's more a question of like tech literacy in a way. Okay. Okay, thank you so much. Let's move to question number 2. But before we do that, I want to thank Anna De Simone. She's around here. I know she's with her daughter, so I will not bother her. And because it actually made this possible again with a company that is called HGI Tech. Jill again will we can, you know, if we don't have too many LinkedIn bugs, we will add the comment with the link, and you can check them out on top of creating spaces like this or digital twins. They also offer metaverse as a service, and they actually do some academy work. I will not say more because I'm part of one of these projects, so I don't want to be like promoting myself. It's really it's not something I want to do. But you may want to get in touch with Anna if you want to know more about the space and how this was built and what they can do for you. So at HG High Tech, or in Italian it's HGE Tech. Okay, very good. Let's move to question number 2. So well, again, digital twins, pretty cool. We were in one of those. It's a great experience. But the metaverse is not only it's not only about digital twins. And for example, using avatars as native advertisement seems to be a less expensive way to taste the metaverse waters. And there are several companies that are already doing this. I don't know about hospitality, but there are a lot in the fashion industry, like Tommy Hilfiger comes to mind, or Deliveroo in the food industry. Do you think that digital advertisement and native advertisement in the metaverse by using avatars can be something that is actually doable in our space? And for people that do not get the idea of what we're talking about, so let's say that as you can see me now, and basically I'm all dressed in black. But what I could do, for example, I could wear like a Marriott shirt or a Hilton shirt. So basically, I will be some kind of uh, brand product placements, avatar kind of ad, and this I think this is an interesting thing because it's a way to be part of the metaverse without having to build something that again it could still be a little expensive, especially for independent properties. So again, another round of questions. So let's start again with Brian. Brian, what is your thought about the use of avatars as a digital mean of advertisement?
Well, customizing an avatar is part of the entire experience, and if the technology keeps evolving the way it's evolving right now, the weight that we're putting into let's say transitioning to this reality, or the way we experience the use of the internet, it is another way of monetizing. It is another way of expression. It is another way of demonstrating exclusivity, which is something that big brands also sell. It's not only about the brand. Sometimes what they're selling is exclusivity. And sometimes the fact that you can create it, maybe even in the form of an NFT, will make it even more exclusive. I don't know what do you think about that?
Yeah, I like the exclusivity part. And I think when we talk, maybe a couple of episodes ago, we talked a lot about the scarcity in a digital environment. So we talk about that. Lior, you're involved into music, of course. So this is where I see like a lot of applications. Like, look, I'm guilty of having already bought some digital merchandising for my avatar for bands I like. So I'm pretty sure that there's a market there. But you can see a market for the hospitality space as well when it comes to advertisement as an avatar.
Not so much. I think that if someone will lead you to a room, I hear
Just give me
myself
1 second.
twice.
Please close your mic if you're not talking.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now perfectly. Go.
Okay. So I'm saying, I think the avatar by itself, I don't think it will attract a lot of. It will lead to to leads and to customers, to new customers. I think if an avatar would attract or start a conversation and lead to some experience inside the like a secret room or something that you can experience to see the hotel, or maybe to something like that, because I think a t-shirt with a Marriott logo, I don't know what it will do, but you can experience more. So avatar by itself, I wouldn't bet on that.
What about, let me rephrase that. For example, Deliveroo, for a little while they did this thing that was like they used to have avatars dressed as food delivery guys in, if I remember correctly, was Animal Crossing. And basically, what you could do, you could get it, basically interact with these avatars and get redeem a coupon or a promo code to actually redeem something in real life. And I think that was a very interesting way of blurring the lines between physical and virtual world. So what
I think
about yeah.
Sorry, what I would do is basically try to create many psychology manipulations, like if you're in a place and you see those delivery guys, the virtual delivery guys of some famous company, or you see someone is doing something, like create those fake situations inside the room, will make more, it will be much beneficial than just the clothes, I think, for me.
So the idea is that inside, so let's say inside the digital twin of a room, we do have avatars that you can interact with, and this could be anything from, I don't know, like a room service or stuff like that. So basically, they will interact as employees of the hotel. Is that correct? Is that what you mean?
I'm thinking more if you want to advertise, then you won't put a lot of effort to advertise in your own digital twin. You would like to go out to different spaces and try to attract new customers. So I'm thinking like in a movie when you can create your own distractions and you can see some situations before you, maybe two avatars talking to each other about something, doing something, and watch it like a movie. It will be much more efficient than knowing that you are talking to, an employee, a fake one, basically. Are we talking about fake avatars or just a real person that his job is to be an avatar and
Look, does it really matter anymore? If it's because to a certain extent you don't even know, like up until you start interacting with these avatars. At first they're pretty much all the same. But I totally understand what you're saying. So basically, the idea could be, let's say, I go into VR chat, for example, and I see like a couple of avatars talking about a brand, and
exactly.
so this could be a good product placement, and it would be like more
Yeah.
organic. I never thought about that, but it's okay. That is super interesting, actually.
You see
Right.
a young couple talking about, wow, it was so great. We were at, this place and it was amazing. The prices are so good right now and stuff like that. I think will be more and more, yeah.
So it's like an organic extension of friends and family, basically. And
Yeah.
okay, so friends and family and metaverse, we call it like that. Okay, that's good. Okay,
Exactly.
I never thought about that. Very interesting. Okay, let's move to Salman. What do you think about the use of avatars in advertisement? If you have an opinion on that.
I agree with the guys on the panel till now, and I think that avatar commerce could be the new influencer marketing within the metaverse. You see how there's influencers right now going on social platforms such as TikTok and Instagram and promoting a certain brand. When you have a lot of people or avatars or bots or whatever you want to name them on the metaverse wearing a certain brand or advertising for a certain hotel, I feel like it sort of creates an effect that attracts people to want to know more. So I agree a lot with Lior. And I also think that by creating a gamified experience for people to play or use or interact with, you're creating more brand awareness.
Yeah, I totally agree.
So let's say you create a treasure hunt. Sorry. Sorry, let's say you're creating a treasure hunt.
The use of gamification. The use of gamification in as an advertisement tool.
I'm sorry.
Can I add something?
Sure.
I would like just to add that avatars could be someone that can create engagement, and this engagement can be seen under different point of views. You guys mentioned being influencers or ambassadors of a brand, but also avatars. I see avatars, the use of avatars as a virtual assistant for any kind of situations, such as sales or just get information in terms of hospitality. For instance, if I have a virtual space like such the one we are inside right now, maybe I can have an avatar giving information regarding the rent of the space, or knowing about rates or any other things that can create a relation with my prospect or my guest or my colleagues, etc. So I see application of avatars in different kinds of uses, not only
That
brand
will
awareness,
probably
but also just
that will probably be step two, because in this case you kind of have the guest, because the guest would have to go to your digital twin. And so I think it's the main idea. Like maybe a similarity in our world, Claudia, could be when you do very top funnel marketing campaigns, like I don't know, buying generic keywords on Google, and when you do brand protection. And to me, like the use of avatars as like digital uh, receptionists, for example, it's more bottom funnel kind of action, marketing action, um, rather than going to other virtual worlds and advertise your property. But I totally understand what you're saying. But I want to reconnect that with something that Salman was saying, and to a certain extent Lior as well, and that is you see this picture that I uploaded on the space.
Yeah.
This is Michaela. So I don't know if you know about her, but she's basically an avatar influencer, and she's been around for several years now, uh, at least 5 or 6 years, because I remember jumping into her when I was working on my latest book, and I started probably writing this in 2018 or 2019, something like that. So even though not mainstream, she's been, if I remember correctly, she's been a brand ambassador for probably Dolce & Gabbana. I don't remember, but a few high-end fashion brands. So again, I will not be surprised to see the use of avatars in advertisement, also in the hospitality industry. But I do agree with Lior to a certain extent that while dressing, like let's say, like wearing a Dolce Gabbana avatar skin will create some brand value for Dolce Gabbana. Just wearing a Marriott T-shirt will probably not create any added value for Marriott. So this is probably where the retail world, the fashion world, or the food industry is different from the hospitality one. So okay, that's a lot of food for thought.
Can I add something really quick?
Sure.
From my world is music, as you know, and I predict that people will hear music and will be admiring avatars, AR, AI agents. For example, I don't know, like Sting. Okay, I never met Sting. Okay, and I worship him basically, and I never met him. So for me, he can be an AI agent for all I know. I think in the future, AIs will be worshipped. You know, there will be a great influencer of the world.
There is an amazing book, and this was written in the probably late 80s, science fiction book. You will love that, Lior. If you send me your address, I will send you a copy. And it's called
Sure.
Idoru. And Idoru is Japanese for idol. And what idol is in Japanese music is basically this very famous pop phenomenon, right? And it's a very bizarre concept, but it's like Justin Bieber on steroids, okay? Like crazy fandom, like really interesting concept. And the old book is about an AI rock star, an AI pop star, and exactly what you're saying. And I agree with you. For what we know, I actually have a better experience of that you two had with Sting, because I met him once, like even briefly.
Oh my
This
God.
is a wine.
Oh my God.
He's a wine collector, and he was So it was in Tuscany. But anyway, that's another story. But like other artists that I never met in my life, yes, they could be totally AI. And look, I wouldn't even care, to be honest.
Me too. Me
So
too.
yeah, that's a great way of that's an amazing way of putting it. Okay, that's cool. Very good. Third round of questions, guys. Okay, that's going to be a hard one. So remember, probably 2 episodes ago, we talked a little about the problem of moving environment from one metaverse to the other, right? And so the problem is that today, when you build something, you basically need to, at least to a certain extent, stick to one single virtual world. Now, if that virtual world for whatever reason fails, you're basically left with nothing. And Luca, Luca has been with us a few times. Luca has a very strong opinion when it comes to that. But in your view, what could be the safest bet when you're picking a virtual world? So, for example, everybody's talking about the Facebook metaverse, Horizon worlds, and even though it's not still available in all countries, at least on paper, this should be released worldwide before the end of 2023. And on top of that, this will enable the creation of words with Blender or TypeScript, making it easier to create immersive experiences like the one we're living now, right? But again, there are hundreds of different metaverses. Like the avatar you're seeing, the avatar I do use is a Ready Player Me avatar, and just Ready Player Me supports, I think, 5,000 different applications. So it's a very highly fragmented market, okay? So let's say you are a small company. And again, this could be hospitality, but this can apply pretty much to whatever kind of business. So you're a small business and you want to create a presence in the metaverse. Now, the first question would be, which virtual world I pick? Now, what would be the answer to that? And again, let's start with Brian.
Now, you mean?
Yeah, now.
Sorry.
So you wake up tomorrow.
Now.
You wake up tomorrow and you say, look, I want to step into the metaverse, whatever that means. What is the safest bet? Which virtual world or metaverse, or call it whatever you like? Which company I pick?
Well, Simone, it is actually a very, very difficult to say, especially knowing that there are so many, right? Which one will be the virtual world, like the safest bet for travel hospitality industry? It is very relatively new and rapidly evolving. But the one that you mentioned, Horizon Worlds, it is certain that will be one of the most promising ones, especially because it's being tucked in by many funds. It has money or economics in the company has a lot to do with it, and the investment that they're putting into that company will probably put the balance in favor of Horizon Worlds. But like I said in the beginning, it's surprising the big amount of virtual worlds that are sprouting. And I am personally looking at several platforms up close. And this is time for me to give some real examples. For example, from the creators of Virbela, they are right now using Frame, which is highly customizable. We can say that it's a very easy platform to start off with, or Altspace, which is downloadable. I will not bet a lot for downloadable platforms. I think we are evolving a little bit towards the browser-based kind of metaverse. Space Creator is it's a Spanish company that is also doing great progress in this term. And of course, the one that we are in right now, if you look at it close, it is doing great improvements, and the tools for you to customize it they're not there right now. Mixing it with the capacity of using Unity or Blender, So there are many options to choose from, and I wouldn't say which one is the safest one. But if I have to bet, I'll probably go for Horizon Worlds. Yes.
What's the Spanish one you mentioned? I just missed the name.
It's called Space Creator. Very simple name. Probably you haven't heard of it, but they launched a few days ago. They launched the SAS system, so that the way they monetize their business. I suggest you take a look at it. It's a very interesting platform to.
So it's basically metaverse as a service. So you pay
Yes.
monthly fee.
Correct. It is.
Okay.
It is.
Look, at the end of the call, just drop me a message with that. So I'm going to check them out. I honestly don't know them, so I need to be updated. Okay, thank you. Okay, let's move to Lior. Do you agree? Horizon is the safest bet?
Yes, and I think the reason is because from what I saw, they are oriented into making the space easy and fast to create into, and this is in the end what will I think will make it. If you create a space that is very difficult for new developers to develop into and to incorporate, you will fail. And from what I saw, Mark said in the first introduction video of the metaverse, he mentioned a lot of times how deeply they gone to thinking about the creators, and I think that's what will be the most important thing in the end. This is why they're the safest best bet, I think.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I see where you're going with that. Okay, Salman, would you agree with that?
Okay.
Horizon?
What I'm about to say is a bit controversial. I completely disagree with that. With Meta Horizon specifically, and with Meta. The reason, and I've mentioned this before, is just because a project is on the blockchain, it doesn't make it decentralized. And it's all a matter of governance. As we've seen with Mark Zuckerberg and his multiple data breaches over the past years, I personally would never allow a company that has taken my data and sold it and played with it to tell me that it's going to protect it in the metaverse and be a Web3 company with a Web3 approach. If you were to ask me what metaverse I would work on, I would personally go for spatial.io. I mean, we're talking about a small company here, or a small brand that probably doesn't have the budget to buy a piece of land on the Decentraland or the Sandbox, and also wants that flexibility, which Spatial does offer. They also offer you the ability to design and develop on Blender, and later on implement gamification on Unity, which from a dev perspective is pretty much all you need to create a metaverse space. So yeah.
I love the fact that Lior refers to Zuckerberg as Mark, and you basically refer to Zuckerberg as the privacy devil. So that's
you know
that's why,
things, so I know Mark.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
But look,
I
don't
know.
With Sting, there's no first name, so even if you're close to him, like maybe you call it like Steve. I don't know.
Summers.
Okay, you're right. Okay, that's cool. Okay, amazing. Every time I talk,
can I just respond?
Yeah.
Can I respond?
Sure, you have to.
I have to. Yeah, it's in my gene. I'm just kidding. I think that spatial is great. I was referring more to the approach, not to developers especially, but to other people that are not developers. I think that Facebook, Meta is always a user, an end user oriented company, and their ability to see, to create tools to make people engage and create inside the metaverse are very different from other companies that still you need to be a very good developer to create something. So in the future, we will see more and more, companies that allows you, like example, in the design world, you see Figma. Figma is amazing. Back in the days, you need to know Photoshop, you need to know a lot of other softwares. It was very, very bad. The experience was not very good. But now you have Figma, everyone knows how to use it, and you have Canva, and you have stuff that allows the end user, my mother user type, to create something. So I think Facebook will always have that advantage of thinking how to bring the end user into creating stuff for the metaverse. That's my 2 cents.
I'm gonna hop in here again if I can, Simone. While I completely agree from a product perspective and from a vision perspective, Facebook has very good products. It doesn't necessarily have very, and as we data privacy, once you have a company with data privacy, it kind of scares you as a user. So unless they have their guidelines as to how they're going to protect my data, I'm personally not going to use Horizon. And I think a lot of people agree with that.
But they're using Instagram, they're using Facebook, they're using WhatsApp right now, and their privacy is, it stays.
What we're trying to do is change that with Web3. It's a movement against big tech and then data piracy, if we were to call it.
Okay, I'm joining the movement.
I'm going to move behind the sofa because I want to listen to that. So I'm not going to ask any more questions. Just go on because this is getting interesting. So just pretend I'm not even here.
I mean, Salman, it's very interesting what you're saying, and I agree that there is this fight against companies that commercialize with our information, but not many people are actually in that fight. The grand majority of the society that we live in, we don't give the value to our information that you are saying in this moment. Unfortunately, though, I mean, you are right in what you're saying, but at the end, the Horizon will people will start adopting Horizon and not caring about the information that they are providing.
It's all about the audience, Brian. But Web3, in essence, is about data ownership and data privacy, and it's about creating a creator's economy. Once I have control over my data, I choose what to give to advertisers. I can monetize off of my data, the data that they're using to monetize for themselves. And that is something that if enough people start to learn and understand, you can actually have a movement against this data piracy. We don't have to accept everything the way it is and the way that big tech made it.
I want to subscribe to the movement, Salman.
Okay.
Count me in.
My heart is with Salman. And again, if you know me, I'm a crypto anarchist. You can call me, and I hate Zuckerberg with a passion. But to the other, when I think about the average user, I don't know, Salman, do you think this is because, like, in order to do that, you need to do some evangelic work, and you need to explain people. Again, look, let's not talk about Zuckerberg. Let's put it on a different way.
Yeah.
So let's say I'm in my 40s now. Okay, so a lot of my friends they start having kids in their teens now, and I always say to them, look, you need to really look into TikTok, right, and check it
Yeah.
out and try to understand that language. And that to me it's even more scary. What I'm talking about, privacy concern.
Yeah.
TikTok is what it is. I don't want to be bad, but whatever. It is what it is. Okay.
Yeah.
And but still, people are using this, and this is why where I disagree with Claudia, because I don't think this is not used by boomers. This is used by teens or preteens, and it's always striking to me that they don't have the tech literacy to understand that they're basically giving all of their data away, and in a very dangerous way. So Salman, I really want me and you now, we have a very Fight Club kind of discussion. Web3 versus
Yeah.
Web2. Okay. We're already
Yeah.
over time. So like let's take 10 minutes to just go crazy with that. And whoever wants to quit, let's quit. And just Web2, Web3. The big fight. Go.
All right. So me and you are representing Web3, definitely. We
Oh,
gotta
yeah.
get Mike. We gotta get Mark on the call. Maybe Lior can be on
Lior,
the call.
can you organize that? Can you set
Give
that up?
me
Can
give
you
me
call?
2 minutes. 2 minutes. He will join. He just wrote me. He's asking if we have an Horizon room because he's not joining a spatial IO.
Well, look, Lior, can I tell you
No,
something? Like
yeah.
a few weeks ago, I did a lecture in Horizon. Okay, because I want to try them all, and I said, okay, let's do this. And so it was a 3-day lecture, and 2 days out of 3 didn't work, and so that was already like painful to me. But that's not even the issue. I'm expecting things to be glitchy. This is glitchy, and everything is glitchy when it comes to the metaverse. Web was glitchy in the 90s. That's the beauty of it, like pioneers in a way. But my view is we need to educate people, and even if this means going completely against the grain. So my heart is with Salman, and my heart is that we will be able to create like a decentralized metaverse where everybody can create value. But I think knowing what I know about humanity, I think I'm going to go with your Salman, and I think Horizon is going to be the metaverse.
That is
I
a
guess
hard pill to swallow, but it is the ugly truth at the end of the day. Once the mainstream follows something, everyone's just gonna go behind them, and that really goes against something. Sorry, Leo, just 1 second. In this case, we're not even creating Web3 anymore. We're just creating a Web2 with a different hat on and a bunch of sunglasses, just wearing a disguise. We're calling it decentralized. I don't know how we can find a solution, but yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you, Simon. The mainstream and the public are gonna follow the footsteps of the giants. Go ahead, Lior.
I was
My
just
apologies.
no, sure, it's a conversation. I was just thinking about electric cars, and I think that in the beginning, no serious company wanted to deal with it. Okay, no one made it before Tesla. Now you see all of the companies are doing electric. And why I'm mentioning it, because I think Facebook, okay, the enemy in this conversation, the Fight Club, I think they have so much data and users from Web2 that once they decided to make the transition into the metaverse, that's the ultimate step that you can do. It's like Mercedes will lead the electric cars. So I think it's a natural step because they did it, they moved to it. I'm not a big fan myself, to tell you the truth, but I don't see any other way. But me personally, I will always prefer the rogue way, the underdog.
Yeah.
I'm also a developer, so I'm all about
Yeah.
open source and transparency and everything. But the question was, which is the safest or the safest bet, not which is the safest. And the safest bet for companies in the hospitality and in general would be, I think, Mark's metaverse.
We're gonna just have to wait and see what happens. But while we wait, let's try to at least boycott or fight against it. The fight is through
I'm all in.
education.
Sure.
So yeah, Simone has a poster on me.
Yeah, it's a bit intimidating.
But can I ask a question?
I had to do it. I had to do it. Like probably the best movie of the last 25 years. Claudia, go.
Yeah. Your question about betting as an entrepreneur, for instance, a hotelier that would like to invest on metaverse, or just what mentioned about the users, or
Now, I would say
I
small,
mean, what
small,
was the purpose
sm-
of the question?
yeah, small entrepreneur trying to build some kind of presence in the metaverse. So basically, they don't really have money to burn. We're talking about maybe companies with no funding. And what is the safest bet? And so again, even though I would love to think that the safest bet will be like the centralized system, I tend to agree with Lior that it's not going to be the way. So Claudia, I don't like you got like 6% battery left. So I'm going to ask you the question, and if you drop, we know that that is for technical reason. So what is the for you? What's the safest bet? And like before you answer that,
Well,
Tracy is writing on a chat that Microsoft Mesh is going to start blazing. Hmm, interesting angle. So Claudia,
well, I think spatial. So I agree with Salmon. Will be the best bet for right now. I mean, especially in hospitality. According to what even Massimiliano once said during our talk, as an entrepreneur has no other knowledge in order, according to technical uh, programs, or so the entrepreneur must go to a dealer that takes.
so I don't know for you guys. To me, Claudia is breaking. Is
Yeah,
breaking up a
yeah,
little.
yeah, yeah. I'm losing her as
Yeah.
well.
Okay, Claudia, I think that's the battery. So thank you for being with us today. But that's look, guys. It's always the same. I start every single episode and I said, look, this time this will be 55 minutes, and every time is longer than that. Because when you, it's it's amazing because it's I think that to a certain extent we're pretty lucky to, especially my generation, to have witnessed two revolution, and that was, well, actually three: Web 1, Web 2, and now Web 3. And it's always very interesting to me to see how many different opinions and how many different angles you have when it comes to the metaverse and all this. And uh, Salman, you know how my take on that. To me, it's more, the metaverse is more about the centralization that is about realism or immersiveness. I would focus more on the centralization than anything else. But I completely agree with Lior that the problem could be, well, actually, from a user perspective, that it's going to be easy. So, well, we're already 10 minutes over time. So first of all, I want to thank you so much for being part of this. Again, I think we lost Claudia. Sorry, Claudia. We will put your LinkedIn account in the comments so people can get in touch with you. And I wanna thank again Anna and HGI Tech, and of course the Italian hotel group first. Italian hotel group in the metaverse. Well, actually, guys, this space is open for a little while. I'm going to just take half an hour to get the posters out, but you can go around. I think you can visit the meeting room, the lobby, the pool. There is a pub, so you can go around. You can actually see, what actually means to create a digital twin. So that's a great that's a great opportunity. And of course, so Anna, Italian Hotel Group. Of course, I want to thank Olimant and Olitech because they're actually the amazing people behind this technology. I had the pleasure to meet them the other day in their lab. It looks like entering NASA. So it was an amazing experience. Thank you so much for everything. And Massimiliano, I know you cannot make it, but he's doing something very important. So, you're excused for this time, but next time you need to come. And, but I want to, I want to just ask you one last thing, guys, and that's what is the best way to get in touch with you? So let's say people want to know more about what you do, or they want to understand a little more about possible application with of the metaverse. Okay, so let's start with Brian. So again, Brian Vertone, business developer and metaverse project manager at Welcome Virtual. So Brian, what is the best way to get in touch with you, and what Welcome Virtual does?
Well, there are many ways you can get in touch with me. You can follow either Welcome Virtual, or you can follow me, Brian Bertone, in LinkedIn. You can visit our webpage at welcomevirtual.com, or you can even follow us on social media, Facebook or Instagram. We're practically everywhere. In fact, we opened Instagram recently, so we're building that community. Welcome Virtual is, since 2018, we're a company consultancy specialized in 3D virtual events in the metaverse. So we do fairs, congress, product presentations, team building activities, and all of that sort. And we work with several virtual platforms. So we try to provide a wide variety of solutions.
Very good, Brian. I will actually be in Basilicata in a couple of weeks, so I know your
amazing.
are from there. I will try to gain another couple of kilos when I'm there. Lior, I have a soft spot for you, but I love what you're doing. So first of all, what is the best way to get in touch with you? What you do at Get Sound, and explain a little better the main idea behind that.
Sure. Thank you so much. So the best way to get in touch with me or to follow is, I think, LinkedIn and the website, getsound.ai. And what we do is we have two companies. GetSound AI is all about creating real-time soundscapes, ambient soundscapes from a location. We are taking into parameters like weather, location, time of day. We are creating the sounds for the specific moment. The sound will never be repeated. It's very high quality. It's good for spas, hotels, and stuff like that. And the second company is about providing the metaverse with sounds. also generated in real time, and AI suited for everything, every need that you can think of. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, check it out. Amazing. I don't remember if you were in episode 2 or episode 3, but the very beginning, if you go back to that 2, yeah, at the very beginning we played some music that Lior gave us. Again, I'm a music freak, so I'm over thank you now right now. but it's really an amazing. I think it's an amazing project. Just check it out. Okay, I assure you, I take no commission out of it. Simon, what is the best way to get in touch with you? What do you do at Meta Designers?
All right. So the best way to get in touch with me is through my LinkedIn. I'm going to leave a link in the chat description. Now, at Meta Designers, we started off as a architecture agency for the metaverse, which is what we're operating as at the moment. But we found that there were a lot of gaps at the level of Web3, at the level of the service providers, legitimacy, and all of those things. And we decided to create a platform which connects brands that are looking to go into Web3 with service providers from all over the world. And that is what Meta Designers is going to become. So yeah.
Very good. And Salman, I love your angles. We had you were in episode 3 or episode 2 with your, I don't remember.
Episode 3.
Okay, episode 3. But I want to do another one with you and Lior in the same space. It's going to be fun. Maybe we do a Web 2 versus Web 3 one.
Sure
and we lost Claudia, but again, we will make sure to put in the comments all the links to get in touch with her. Again, thank you all for being part of this. It's really, it's always great. It's always something new to learn. Brian, if you remember, just drop me a message with the Spanish company you were talking about. That's going to want to check them out. We will meet again in exactly 1 month, and we have a very, it's not confirmed yet, so I cannot really tell you, but I probably will be able to tell you in a couple of weeks, like a big name in the metaverse. We're just trying to make sure that, because it's on a crazy time zone, so we're just trying to make sure that it doesn't have to wake up at 4 in the morning. But I will be able to tell you more in a couple of weeks. In the meantime, if you haven't, you can download the first part of the Metaverse glossary that we published with Hospitality.net. There's some of my work, but mainly the work of your Salman, Brian, and all the other Polybius panelists. So it's completely free to download. You don't have to sign up for everything. It's very like Web3 style. You just go there, you download it, and we're working on a part 2 of that. What else? If you wanna stay in the loop, just look for Polybius in LinkedIn. Just sign up for the LinkedIn page, and you will be updated every time there is a new event. Thank you so much, guys. We'll see you again in a few weeks. Thank you. And for all the other people around, I see we still have a few avatars moving around. You can just feel free to explore the spaces and go around and check out this digital twin, okay? So Jill, whenever you want, you can put it on, put offline. And in the meantime, you guys, if you want to stick around and have a tour, I will stay in the space for another few minutes to make sure everything is okay. Thank you so much, guys. Ciao.
Thank you, Simone. Take care. Thank you, Salman. Thank you, Leo.